and call our budget hearing to order. Is there any members of the audience that have any questions or comments on the budget? Does anybody have any? Motion to approve the budget.
Move to approve.
It's been moved by Justin.
Second.
Second by Larry. All roll call vote. David?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Randy? Justin? Alrighty. The budget has been passed. Do I hear a motion to close the budget hearing?
Somebody.
Moved by David,
Second.
second by Larry. All in favor?
Yes.
Alright. We will call the regular meeting to order. Has everybody had a chance to read and approve the minutes from the August 10th meeting? Corrections or additions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Randy,
Second.
second by David. All in favor? Motion passed. Sheriff report, nothing. New business, theater renovation project. Is this to call him, right?
We need to call the engineer.
What's his name? What's the engineer's name?
John. Hathaway. John Hathaway.
This is John.
Hi, John, this is Amanda with the City of St. Francis. We've got you on speaker.
Hi, Amanda.
We've got a few members of the theater board and the city council here to discuss the renovation project with you.
Yes. Yes. How is everyone tonight?
Good.
Doing good, as long as we're in the AC. How about yourself?
I don't know that we're quite that hot here, but it's mid-80s, so it's not too bad.
We were pushing 100
Oh.
again today, so.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I pulled up the budget that I worked through with Robert Grace back in 2022, I believe. 2020, yes, April 19th, 2022. I pulled that up, pulled the original drawings up from February of 2022 as well. And, you know, it was an interesting project that RJ originally brought to us via Miller and Associates, who had worked with the city for quite a bit on the utility side. And yeah, let me know how I can answer, what questions there are, or what I can do for you.
Hey, John, it's David Butler.
Yes.
Hey, per our conversation, when we met as a city board, there were some questions. One of the questions were, can they go ahead and solicit for bids for contractors per those drawings now? Or is there a special way that needs to play out? So we didn't know if there's any T's that we need to cross or I's we need to dot in that regard.
No, these are stamped and sealed drawings, so they are valid for construction and going through and procuring work. You know, I think and this set didn't get too much into the mechanical, electrical systems of the theater. It really just dealt with kind of the egress, the ADA accessibility for those bathrooms, and a little bit of the acoustic. There's some design elements for some acoustic deflection, absorption for the side and back walls to try to improve the acoustics. But no, as is, these drawings could be used to procure bidding, get budgets, you know, and if the city wanted, we can help answer questions during bidding if they come in from the contractors. You know, that would be something that we could bill hourly or handle those as those come in.
And we've got data board members here. Do you guys have questions you wanna ask?
Go ahead.
Really, my first question is, what was the plan?
Can you hear him?
Yes.
What was the plan
So
when
when
these?
RJ originally approached, he was looking to try to improve the kind of the function of the building through accessibility, make it more usable in that way, and then also do some cosmetic improvements. I think we've got a new ceiling called out, a little bit of modification, maybe some concession modification. I think we added a mop sink and a hand sink in the concession area. So RJ approached with some very specific requirements of trying to improve the theater and make it more accessible and usable for the community. And one of the discussions that we had at the time, and just to be upfront with RJ, was that given all of the existing concrete structure, the slope on the ramps up into the theater room around those existing bathrooms, some of the constraints of those areas, we had difficulty getting what I would call full ADA as far as everything that the guidebook says to make the building accessible. We weren't able to accomplish that. The slopes are too steep going into the auditorium, and there's some other items. And in discussions, the authority having jurisdiction, or in the state of Kansas, your building code official is the one that has the ability to say, well, you know, we've increased the bathrooms and made these accommodations which bring us closer to ADA, and we see that as an improvement in a way to make this more accessible, but we understand it's not fully accessible. So this was the best we could do with that building. You know, it came down to a couple of small, like I think we had a turning radius that was maybe an inch shy with some of the door swings for the toilet partitions. The slope up into the auditorium are just a little bit above 1 to 20, but they meet 1 to 12 as far as a 1 inch and 12 inch for a slope. And he was of the opinion that if somebody needed accessibility, a community member, theater staff member might be able to help push their wheelchair up the slope that was just a little bit too steep. You know, there were some nuances like that he felt as the building code official that we had made great strides in improving it, and it would be an improvement overall. So, but largely it was those items. The goals were to do a little bit, and we had studied, I mean, projection. I think he had done projection and stereo prior to us getting there. We had looked at some mechanical systems, but the cost to improve mechanical systems were quite high. And the final scope, this February project, was really restricted down to that accessibility and a little bit of additional, like the mop sink and the hand sink in the concession area and some of those things.
If all the plans were executed, do you have an estimated cost of what it would
The
be?
costs that I shared on the drawings for those with Robert Grace back in 2022, we had estimated them at about $190,320. And I don't, David, right? I don't know if you had, I think you had access to this, but I'll run down, like, not necessarily the exact numbers, but I'll tell you the scope that was in this. The scope that was in this was electrical repairs and remediation. This was to improve some code-related electrical items, There was a sound system replacement, limited painting of the theater space and selected patching, concession appliances, the bathroom appliance, partitions, demo and rework, ceiling installation in the main area, and then required lighting fixtures for egress, some doors and hardware, a little bit of masonry repair. It says on the north side, I can't quite recall what that was, and I apologize. But that scope at that point with a 10% contingency and 10% overhead and contracting fees by the general contractor was $190,320. Being that is 4.5 years old, I would see that escalation, especially related to some of these items, probably being in a 30 to 35% range at this point. We've had a lot of cost increase on raw materials. Labor has gone up a little bit, but I think that cost would be closer to about $256,000 in, autumn 2026 dollars.
And if this project was completed, where would this put Cheyenne Theater around other theaters in our area? I mean, this sounds like we're building the Sphere.
I, quite honestly, I can't tell you that. I don't know. I mean, I think Gardner has a theater. I cannot tell you that. I mean, it's what these are I would call them more Band-Aids and usage improvements. I would not call them a complete gut and remodel where, we didn't even touch any of the theater seating in this. This is not a full rehabilitation for the theater, the building, the exterior, and a renovation and restoration. This was, hey, we want to improve the usability, we want to improve accessibility. This was not a full rehabilitation restoration. Does that answer the question?
Yes.
Okay.
John, my question, this is Pat Kress. I got on the board somewhat after you finished those plans, and so I have seen them. I think we're looking at staging it now and working initially at the ADA compliant bathrooms and concession area, and then working our way further.
Okay. Out of that initial budget, I think you would probably only, you might save 70 to 80,000 out of that. So you'd probably be in a 150 to 180 range for the bathroom concessions. And, all of that would be dependent on how much appliances are in the budget, or maybe things are donated by community areas or lumberyard. I think at the time the lumberyard was pretty active whenever construction was needed for buildings and facilities. So, I mean, I couldn't tell you exactly how much would be affected, but most of that budget, maybe 100,000 of it, was probably the extent of what wasn't related to the concessions and ADA accessibility for the bathrooms.
All right, thank you.
And John, per our conversation, you were saying that on the plans it shows the bathroom door swinging out to the hallway, and that would be okay as far as being ADA compliant?
Well, it's the best we can do, quite honestly. If we were to try to swing them into the bathrooms, we don't have the clearances to be able to navigate those. In the final plan, they do swing out to the lobby, but most of the lobby, the middle 60% of it is still open for circulation. And there would be ways, if there were concerns about people swinging the door open as people were exiting the theater, we could maybe add a little wing partition or wing wall that adds a tiny bit of privacy, but also protects people that might be exiting the theater. And I can certainly share these drawings as a PDF. For those who haven't seen them or anything, send them out to everybody. But yes, the doors would not be able to swing into those bathrooms. That was one of the biggest issues with the accessibility in those. Is it's nearly impossible for a wheelchair to be able to find enough area outside of the swing of the door to circulate and negotiate that door.
How would accordion type doors, a high quality accordion type door that would fold in
So
and out?
accordions don't meet the accessibility for the function as far as the actions required to operate them. There's a pinching session and sliding. So you can do barn door, or not barn, well, there's some sliding doors that make ADA if they have the right type of hardware. In this scenario though, with the concrete structure that all of those bathroom walls are designed around, it would be very difficult to use a special function door to make that work. We could do even a small enclosure and not put a door on the room, although that's going to eat up a lot of that lobby space and become quite detrimental to just kind of the use of that space. But accessible doors, the most prominent are the horizontal handle that allow you to twist with a wrist action and then pull and push. We could do a push and pull with no latch as well, where we just have a closer on the door and there's no handle on it to have to negotiate. You just have a pull handle, but no operable function as far as a latch. Great. So there are options. Accordions are not one that typically works just because of the range of motion of the arm to extend it sideways.
Okay.
Yeah, John, we appreciate it. We've just been kind of, needing to know kind of where's step A, what do we need to do first? And so we thought, since we found these, let's get you on the phone, make sure we get our questions answered. So I appreciate your time.
Yeah, and Robert Grace
Yeah.
isn't on the board anymore, so.
Yeah, and David had informed me of that, and I think you're very much. It'd be a great idea to just focus on the bathrooms and concessions and see how that goes. The bathrooms are kind of one swoop. It'd be hard to do one and not the other. You'd almost need to do both of them at the same time, and that's a big portion of the work. But I think we tried to minimize the impact or budgetary constraints with the design that we had, so.
Okay.
Anything else, Derek?
John, well, we thank you for your time.
Yeah, feel free to email me if you have more questions, or if you need those drawings, I can, as I said, send them out, or send the budget that was sent to Robert back in April of 21
You said you
or
have those,
22.
you have those in PDF?
I do. Do you have an email address you'd like me to send them to?
Could you just send them maybe to the city clerk, and then we can get that to all the theater board members, that way everybody has that information?
Yep, absolutely. What is I don't know if I still have that. Maybe give me that email address one more time,
Clerk
though.
at cityofstfrancis.net.
It's just clerk@cityofstfrancis.net, and St. Francis
Okay.
is just ST. Bless you.
All right, I will send that out.
Alrighty, we appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Have a good
Thank you,
evening.
you too, bye.
That way you can forward it to all of us too.
That
That
way
way you
all
can
the,
forward it to all of us too.
Absolutely.
do you mind, Jamie, to just send that to all the,
Thanks your packet. Miss
Yeah,
Ashley,
and
December
I might mention that we are participating in that, CCYF, whatever it is, match day. We'll be up there with a table working for matches yet for that, so. We're trying to do what we can from our side, and we're still trying to finalize a little bit, the final touches on the advertising program before we come back to you with the final proposal on that.
Good,
Okay,
appreciate it.
all right, thank you. You're done
Thank you,
with this.
guys.
I can go.
All
Thank
right,
you, guys.
thank you. Have a
Thanks,
good
guys.
evening. Suicide prevention walk, Lisa, you're
That's
up.
me,
All
that's
right.
me. Sorry, I was writing myself notes, so I know what I'm gonna say. So, I am Lisa Phillips, I am the program director at Cheyenne County Hospital for the program Senior Life Solutions. We provide, support for mental health and behavioral health for seniors, but I've also kind of become the county's liaison for mental health in general. I sit on the High Plains board, and I do all these wonderful fun things like what I'm talking to y'all about tonight. I'm just gonna leave you that so you guys have it. So September will be Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month. I have been here about 4 years, and this year we've had 2 walks for suicide prevention and awareness. I had them over at the park in Bird City. This year I would like to get this side of the county. So for the 3rd annual walk, I'd like to be able to use Saw Hill Park, not the whole park. I just need the sidewalk that goes around it and the shelter. And I would like to use it on September 15th from like 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The most that we would do is on the shelter, we'll have some information, we'll have some drinks and some snacks. And on the sidewalk itself, there will be yard signs that have information as you walk, and probably some pinwheels that are poked in the ground just because they're pretty. And then if you guys would let us, we also have sidewalk chalk to write things on the sidewalk, but if you don't want that, I'm fine with that. But it's 2 hours, 6 to 8, on the 15th of September is when I was hoping to host it, if I could.
Great idea.
All right,
Sounds good.
thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you.
And I will make sure you guys all get an invite.
Perfect, thanks.
All right, I'm good.
St. Francis Equity Board.
Now, you said you were gonna stay for the whole meeting.
That one is? Okay, bye, have a nice night.
Good to see you. All right.
Bob and I are here to, address the council, just seeing where the progress is on the, easement of the scale house with, in regards to our sale to High Plains. It's obviously not all a council issue, but I thought I would come straight to the horse's mouth and just see where we stand on it and what kind of progress we're making.
I left my notes across the street. I talked with Michael Baxter, who's our attorney
Okay.
out of Hayes, and he had reached out to, is it Lance, would be High Plains attorney, I think out of Salina.
Okay.
And they had correspondence, he had drawn up a lease agreement and an easement, because the council had kind of, whichever one would work out the best.
Sure.
And it was, High Plains that said they wanted fee simple, they wanted to own the land. And so that's kind of where they left it, and I wanna say that was June, maybe July,
Okay.
the last that he had heard from High Plains attorney, that High Plains required fee simple ownership.
So, I guess, just to kind of catch me up and Bob as well, the issue with the right of way or whatever is involved with the scale, is that correct? And how it comes across city utilities, is that correct?
That
Went
and
down
it was
as well.
basically the all power supply bill and everything, treating it like an alley basically.
So the drive-through from the street between the scale house, the main office and the elevator is treated as an alleyway, is that correct?
I believe.
It's a platted street,
Yeah.
Okay,
that
But I-
angles up and then basically an extension west of Jackson Street and then off of Angle Road that goes in between the elevator and the office building.
And
So
I think we're trying to make it as like an alley.
mhm.
You take care, like I said, it just, those are our utilities.
Does, has all these years, has the St. Francis Co-op paid taxes on that property?
I could look. I mean, I don't know that, I can look, yeah.
I guess I'm asking or looking for guidance on how we can expedite this process, whether it comes to the council leaning on somebody to make something happen, or whether it's the board or whatever, but we have a six-figure settlement that could very much benefit the co-op's bottom line to get this thing done. And so, I guess, that's kinda where we're at, as far as, what's the next step and how can that happen?
Talking to Bob Standish, I think the issue was getting a title. And then I talked to Quality Title over at Kobe, Angela, and she said today if Bob was willing, she would be willing to give title if there would be an easement.
An easement as opposed to a,
And then she rattled off some other stuff. I said, I'm not a lawyer, so she's gonna put everything in writing and give you a copy,
okay,
High Plains a copy, and the St. Francis Equity a copy.
okay,
There's some other things she wants, and I didn't understand what she was saying.
okay,
But I had the impression from Bob that he might be willing to go along with that. He said, I want everything in writing, I want to know exactly what's gonna happen here.
okay. And the city was willing to do either an easement or a lease agreement. That's where we stand.
Yeah.
Um,
And like I
That's-
said,
that
when
was-
I first opened my statement, I realized it's not just a council issue,
yeah,
and I guess that's what we're here, is just how can we expedite this to a point where we can get it finished? I mean,
and if
obviously,
she's gonna draw that up and get it to him and he's
I
agreeable,
talked to
then,
her today,
okay,
and then Bob told me last week, he said, if we don't get this resolved, he said, I'm not so sure we're giving St. Francis Equity $100,000 back. So, but I think until we get a copy of what all the title company wants before, cause Bob requested that too. She was saying some other things and I didn't have a clue what she was talking about.
well, yeah, if she gets that, we can get it to our attorney and,
She said she would send it to you guys,
okay.
so.
And she's been in contact with Michael Baxter, our attorney, so
Okay,
I'm
good.
assuming if not, we can get it forwarded to him and get that ball rolling then.
anything you guys could do to kinda help push this thing through would be very, very much appreciative.
Of course, Bob requested a long-term easement, not knowing who's gonna own it down the road, so we don't have to go back through this again.
Yeah.
Whether that's lifetime, 20 years, I don't know, he just said.
Well, and that's a discussion to have at that point, I guess, between High Plains and the city as far as the easement or the lease agreement and how many, the term of that agreement or, if it, whatever that is.
So I think until we get everything from the title company, then we'll know exactly what all she wants also. There's more than just the easement.
Okay, well, I guess we'll wait to hear from her and then we can,
And I just found that out this morning when I was talking to her.
okay.
We'd already scheduled the meeting, so I'll be there shortly.
So you just want to come and say hi for sure? Very good. Yep, when she gets that to us, we can get that sent on and discuss it.
And then the sad thing about it is, this is costing St. Francis Co-op $8,000 a year in interest. This money will go right to the bank.
On And I guess why you guys are here, cause that containment is also in the right of way, so I would assume the city would also wanna do the same for the equity
Which containment?
that's back behind.
Over Washington Rigs office.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay, yep.
Yeah,
That
So-
could probably be taken out.
Yeah, we could probably take it out, honestly. I guess we will keep that in consideration if we move forward with anything.
okay.
But yeah, I mean, that might be a deal where we can just remove it.
And I think, if I remember right, that was put in prior to getting a building permit, and so the building permit kinda has a clause in there that if something goes wrong with our utilities underneath, that obviously it will be tore up at
Sure.
your guys' expense, so if you, I mean, if it's not really a deal breaker for you guys, I don't know if it's something we need to worry about at this point, or. I just thought if we're taking care of one, we'd take care of
Yep.
both of them, because they're both kind of in the right of way, but,
Like I said, we're willing to do whatever, help however,
okay,
you know, we wanted to come and just, you know, kind of express the urgency of the matter, so.
we will get moving on it as soon as we hear from Angela then,
That sounds
It
great.
seemed like it's taken a long time for this issue to surface.
yeah.
I don't know when that scale house was put in, it's a long time ago,
I wanna say like 96,
96.
and see, that building permit wasn't approved either, and that's what I wonder if it wasn't.
You suppose the
This-
co-op didn't know they needed to,
Well, that's what I wonder, if they discovered it at that time and then they just forgot to follow through with this part of it, you know, it's just like it just kind of got left hanging out there, and so I just wonder if somebody, oh, we need to file some paperwork to get something done, and it just never got done, so. But yep, as soon as we hear from Angela, we'll get that
Okay.
moving for you guys. Anything else from you two?
I think that's it, I guess we'll get the paperwork from the title company and then we'll see
Okay.
exactly what they want.
Very good, sounds good.
Okay,
Thank you.
Alright,
thank
thanks
you.
guys. Uh-huh.
Thanks, guys.
Building permits. Is this a built permit?
Most of these are built
Estimated time completed.
I like that one.
Yeah.
because most of these got letters, so.
Is there any
Oh.
problem with the ones that are built? I kind of want to
We had
see.
a little, the playhouse, we might have to move an electric wire, cause it keeps, now it's getting warm, it's sagging down on top of the playhouse. But we can look at that, see what that's gonna take. And then this one on River Street, I'm supposed to speak with the guy Friday on that, to look at it more. Cause he's gonna be wanting to put his fence pretty close to the corner of that building, and then you're 14 feet out, and then it'll cut between.
Which one? Oh, this one.
He's working out of town right now, so I can't do anything till Friday.
Is this his,
That's his job?
is this his drawing?
Yeah, but you gotta turn it around, it ain't correct. I know, I looked at it too, I was like, yeah, the garage door's on the other side.
I'm still confused about.
I just don't know exactly where his fence is gonna come out off the, he's gonna come off the front edge of the building out
To the,
for 14 feet towards First Street,
okay,
and then
Is there
back
enough
to the
room?
side. 14, he got 14 feet, maybe.
Is it easier to, you turn the corner, so you can see it?
That's big, I mean, I don't think it'll make a difference as far as pulling up a stop sign and seeing, but there's still that triangle we're not supposed to build in, so I have to find out if that measures out. Go from there. Nothing else, I guess I get a hold of Amanda or whoever I need to get a hold of, and try to figure out what we need to do, cause he might want it approved. I'll be able to start
approve it contingent on,
Anyway, I don't think you the rest of them.
Is that the one right next to Bud?
Yeah.
yeah.
Roger Jensen's also. Okay.
What is Jose putting up?
Huh?
What is Jose putting up? Ratchet, okay. That is,
Yeah, it's already up.
okay.
You just gotta sign it.
I will say the people who got the letters, they were very receptive to them. Some of them had no idea they needed to get a permit, so I think those letters are gonna be pretty effective.
Okay.
So, and then, when we're talking about building permits, the question came up today, do they need a building permit to put up a sign? I don't,
Is that on this?
it's not in here right now. The sign, I believe, put up, but it's for the restaurant.
They got a permit to tear the other one down,
They
didn't
put
they?
a big sign up on the vacant lot.
Okay.
They've got
They
some.
did have one for the front, the sign,
The-
they did put it in on the
Post there.
building permit, yeah.
They
Unless
do
they put
have
up
a
on
parking
parking
sign
signs.
up there now for that.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know if we needed it for a sign or it's not really,
Does it close to the highway then? So is that?
they've got it pushed back behind the,
So it's not from the highway, we get that other number, the state highway number?
that, I don't know.
Sometimes on the highway, you have to have
Yeah,
be certified by the state, basically on that number right there.
I think that'd be a question for the state,
Mm-hmm.
more so than us.
Yeah. We didn't ever require them forward.
I think
Just like
just as
the
long as you
signs.
put, dig safe, you're not, you know, gonna, a big hole in fiber optic or silver bullet.
I'm just thinking like that clinic replaced their sign several years ago, and when there was El Jalapeno, there was a sign by Johnson's Body Shop, and there was one out there, and I don't know that we ever,
I'll talk,
Had them,
it
yeah.
just come up today, so I was just asking, but I
don't remember.
didn't think it was.
yeah, I don't ever remember any for that. I know they got one when they poured that other one down, but,
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea though, to have some control over signs like that. And $5 is not much.
no.
Well, if it's gonna be on someone else's property too, sometimes most of those are on a different landowner thing, the signs.
I don't think they're gonna do that in this instance, it's all on their property, isn't it?
That would be the only thing I could think of for the signs, because having a little bit of control over what the sign looks like might be,
And what do
you
do?
can get some kind of, I mean, the Dusty Effort is up there for a long time.
Yes, it was. But I don't know that we have anything in our ordinance to control signage, do we? No. And I think that would almost need,
And I'm not mess with it.
well, I'm just thinking,
Depends on what kind of business comes in,
mm,
what kind of sign.
I don't know how you control somebody's sign.
I don't think we'll be getting any
Well,
Las
we could-
Vegas signs.
Make them get a building permit for the structure part of it, but as far as a
Correct.
message on it, without putting something in our code.
Correct.
I don't think we really had any kind of issues with anything like that, have we?
No,
I guess if it's the problem, then I guess it's could be addressed at the time and said, well, that's probably not a good, thing, yeah. But I don't think we've ever had that problem before.
yeah,
So like, we do have,
Yeah, we do have that.
Back watch them.
There we go. Better order some more red lanterns, so we'll get something.
That's a trigger word.
Night
Dusty
watchman.
Effort sign.
The Dusty. You know, we became pretty famous for that sign,
Got
whether
some
we
mileage out of that thing.
wanted it or not, yes. Is there a motion to approve the building permits contingent on the one on 403 South River that Dan approves where that's at.
Move.
Moved by Justin, second by Randy, all in favor. Resolution 2026-04, amending resolution 2023-03, street project. Jamie.
This is just what Gilmore and Bell sent so that you guys can update what your bonds are being used for. The first part is just your certificate explaining what the changes are, and then the second part is the actual resolution and certificate.
Anybody have any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve resolution 2026-04?
Move to approve the resolution.
Moved by Larry, second by Randy. David? Larry?
Yes.
Randy?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Alright, that passed. Alright. Old business property cleanup.
I don't think we had anything different on the, spreadsheet, so I didn't print it today.
Did we get an updated letter sent on River, on the one that was sent and maybe had service back in February and we decided we needed to resend?
He sent it, yeah.
Okay,
We haven't heard anything back from it yet, I don't think.
okay. Have you guys been sending weed letters? Anybody? Property cleanup, anything?
Nothing new?
Nothing new? What about the, I know it's on projects pending, the one at 600 South Adams that we were supposed to,
The one, the house next door to me, did we do that or did they do that? Clean it, mow it?
I don't know.
What's that?
I just came home one day and it was mowed, so I didn't know the house next door to me that I sold to an investor that's supposed to have it completely
They did
redone by
that.
now.
There was people there last night.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
think.
so it wasn't us, it was them.
Right.
Okay.
We haven't heard anything from Mr. Blair, have we?
No.
Do we wanna reach out to him maybe?
Yep.
You talking about South Adams?
The one that you guys were supposed to go by since the last meeting? Did you go by?
I didn't go down the alley. Going by the front.
Do you want like a letter sent to him, or his presence at the next meeting, or?
What do you guys?
I think come to the meeting, I guess.
What's that?
Maybe come to the meeting if it's not getting done,
Phone call or letter.
at least they know what's going on.
Is everybody in agreement with that? Do you want a letter or a phone call?
I would like a letter because proof, I guess.
Letter.
I don't know the address, the property there up behind the liquor store.
703 South Francis.
There has been some progress made up there. What concerns me is that, like, the front door's boarded up. There's been a vehicle parked there. I don't know, is there active utilities?
No.
No.
Did you guys reach out to them after the last meeting? I
Did
thought
we
you guys
find a
were
phone
going to.
number for them? We were going to. Did we find
Yeah.
a,
I don't think that we ended up, but don't you have a letter to go out tomorrow for
Yeah.
weeds?
Well, cause I know the last meeting, you guys were gonna follow up and give them a phone call and then they mowed it, or they did some cleanup, so I thought maybe you guys had gotten hold of them.
I
We
didn't
got
find a
most of
phone
the
number.
trash out of there, but the weeds are getting pretty tall again.
Cause they don't have utilities set up and I don't know I don't think we ever found it, we were gonna call him and I don't think we found a phone number.
Well,
But like,
we haven't.
a
Well, I
lead,
got
a
the
weed letter
address
is going out.
Cause I just sent a letter out today, I just signed the letter today to go out for weed.
Is it the same owner as the B and B for sure?
Yes.
Do we know that for
Yeah.
sure? Do you want me to go,
They
so
bought
if it's the same owners, that, remember I wasn't sure, I wanted us to be sure it was the same owner, I thought it was. Want me to go try and call her now,
I mean,
or
if you send a letter out, that's a little,
the weed letter will go out?
People on B and B?
or the next day.
Yeah.
Cause if it's not at the post office now, it won't go out till the next day, so I guess you'd have time to call tomorrow morning and then run it down, right? Cause if it's, or, cause you haven't taken it to the post office yet?
But then, so are we talking about two different issues here? So the weeds are bad, so the weed letter would be one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Are your concerns about what they plan to do with the structure, like because the door's boarded up and, or is that?
Well, I thought that's why we were gonna call them and see what their plan was.
Yeah, we can figure out a number tomorrow, now that I know for sure who the owner is, we can
Okay.
get that, so we can, do you want us to call them about the structure and still go ahead and send the lead letter as we do for other people whose property, is that?
That's fine. I
It'd
said
be
if we're
nice.
gonna talk to them on the phone, we could mention it, or at least you can just mention that they'll be getting a letter as well in the weeds, but,
Just like
I
to
just-
know kinda what the status is and what their plans are, I mean.
cause I think we never really talked to them, did we?
Mm-mm.
When they bought it, it was all kinda through the realtors, so I think that's why we were gonna have you guys just reach out and say, hey,
Yeah.
can you kinda give us a time frame or
Yeah.
come talk to the council or something.
Like I said, I don't know if there's anybody actually living there, but there's been a vehicle parked there.
There's no, I don't think there's anybody living there.
I'm sorry?
Nobody
I don't
there.
think there's anyone living there.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else property cleanup? I know the weed in the streets in some places are getting pretty. tall.
On mow,
Huh?
on all the streets.
There's this. Some of them, just
Might wanna get the sunflowers
mine.
harvested over.
hold mine, but I just.
Spray mine.
I should've, what's that? But I need to do that.
Well, this year's been tough,
Yeah.
trying to knock
That's
stuff
what
down.
Mike did finally get over to my house and kill bindweed. I think he also took out my lilacs.
Oh no. Which I didn't hear back from him on that letter for the bindweed. I was gonna reach out to him, we need to get that. He didn't reach out to you guys, did he? Okay. Alrighty, shipping containers.
There's a letter in there from the individual we contacted requesting some time.
We have to do it.
Well, I think we need to address the whole shipping containers on a whole before we, I think we need to just figure out what we're gonna do and do it.
Well, I would say on this instance, we have to, because we've done this not once but twice with someone else. So you can't not do it for them now. That precedent's been set.
But we've also told people no, so
Right.
we've got to.
Are they out, well, I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming that's all the name, this is this in city?
It's up by the,
Just east of the water tower.
yeah, I'm trying to think what, the food pantry.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with David, I think you gotta at least give him the option.
What are we gonna do with the others?
Have they been notified,
These guys did
or
receive a
of the
letter.
other ones from last meeting?
No, we were gonna wait and see if they, cause a year ago, they were told to get on the agenda for, in August, and
We haven't heard
so
from
we
them.
thought we'd wait and see.
It's August.
Yeah.
I would just say the longer we wait, the harder it's gonna be, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
I can contact John if you want me to, see if he's come up with any kind of a plan.
Jamie can.
You want a letter or do you want a phone call?
Definitely a letter.
Letter?
And the county one?
The county.
I thought they were gonna move.
I thought they were too, and I talked to Sharsa the other day and I said, well,
Letter and then it's a phone call.
okay,
Where's it at?
up by the village,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
that one. And then we're gonna, I think we just need to set a time
30
for those
days.
and just be done and,
Well, this is what our third meeting we talked about this, so we gotta figure something out.
yeah, we can't just keep kicking the can, cause
30 days, do something. Their businesses.
I don't have a particular dog in any fight of this whatsoever, I'm just, but 3 meetings on it's enough. We just need to,
yeah,
That's
that's what I'm
right.
like, we just need, to I
Yeah.
think, to me, set a date,
yeah.
a time, you have till this date to remove them, and
Alright, so we want 30 days to remove.
is everybody okay with that? Justin?
I mean, if they're gonna build something, it's gonna take 30 days to
Not a
build
year.
something. I know, but it's also taken us a couple years to get a project done too. So. I'd just like to know, what's his plan? If not gonna have a plan, then yeah.
Well,
There's no plan, then.
she asked for 6 months. I think that's too long.
What if we give everybody to the end of the year? All of them just say, we have until the end of 26, and
If
shipping
they're not
containers
done,
need
they
to
will
be
be.
out, and if not, you'll be cited. That treats, I mean, I know it cuts their time a little short, but that way we just, everybody has till
Everybody
December
has till-
31st, and then,
And if they're not gone by the first meeting in January, they're cited.
If you're giving them till December 31st, then on January 1st they get cited. You have to enforce it the date after the deadline. I mean, January 2nd, it's a holiday, but you can't say you have to have it done by 31st. Oh, we're gonna wait until the first meeting.
Oh, yeah.
That's
First, yeah.
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 I get it.
Either
That or you make it January 14th, or whatever the first meeting is, you just, yeah.
Yeah.
What's everybody's thoughts on that?
I like,
We're not
so we
stepping
tell
in
them
it,
31st.
giving them to the
I
end
like
of the
the
year,
second.
Yeah.
are we, instead of giving them 6 months. Are there any others in town that are issues, or that people know of?
I don't think so.
It's the only ones I know.
I mean,
Those are the only
we're
ones I know
telling
of.
everybody no.
I think that's more than fair.
Fair. Everybody okay with that? Just write all 3 of them a letter that says you have till December 31st? Are we good? So that's-
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Very good. Projects pending. planters and flagpoles, do we wanna change that to spring of 2027?
Spring, maybe.
I was
Wait.
kinda,
Can we
Beach.
just change that to
those were
this?
kinda on the contingency of, trees and stuff,
Washington, I know, and I've
and
been.
then have that as a part of both. So,
You want me to take it off?
Next week or so. What's that?
Do you want it taken off? If
I don't
it's-
think we need to take it
Change the date.
off. Yeah.
What are the plans for the Washington Street Beautification Committee? What's the goal there?
the goal is to make it look like it was in the nineties.
After they put all the trees.
Wait,
and
so
make
the-
pretty And spend a fortune.
Are you saying before they put the trees in?
No,
After.
after they put the tree, they did the sidewalks and all of that and put the trees in, it was gorgeous. And now we have this.
So we wanna
Which is
put the
not-
trees back, do we wanna put the LED rings around the bottom so it shines on the trees at night?
I think just getting the light bulb.
Getting the light poles fixed
Then,
and putting trees back in.
Doing different
Would-
things on, like, instead of the welcome, putting more community minded, like, I like, you go to, like, you see all the veterans, everybody go down different main street, Ellis, if you ever go down Ellis, and I think Colby does it too, Sherman County, or Dillon does it too, so, just acknowledging, a certain group.
Has anybody else had people say that they don't want trees for
Just
the
one.
businesses?
This one I know.
I would point out that if you're gonna put trees in, they need to be things that aren't dropping things that become trip hazards that people could slip on,
Acorns.
yeah, slip, fall, break something, sue the city.
Also, trees underneath the 30-foot tall, or a line that's only 30 feet off the ground, we don't need a 100-foot tree under it. So, I mean, we need to, yeah.
I mean, that's a Dan concern. The dropping is a me concern.
I don't mind if it's like a, dropping buds of leaves or something, but these acorns are.
Right, somebody could step on and slip or
Those-
trip
yeah,
or,
those roll good.
yeah,
They do.
and that's,
I think the kids like it.
The
The
squirrels
squirrels
love
do,
it.
the squirrels do
Squirrel
for sure.
And
yeah.
the kids.
It keeps.
What are you talking about electric?
It's just, we have, there was a lamp post, I mean, just making sure they're all working.
The pedestrian
Do we
lights.
still have that
switch.
lamppost that looks like it's doing disco?
Mhm.
I just don't even notice it no more, but.
There is power at each one of those trees too, so.
Used to be water.
Used to be. Is there still
Water
power?
too, some of them.
I don't know. if
Well, that's why I was asking, because they make these new LED rings that go below the trees at night, they're on timers.
There was power in all of them.
Light up all the trees, which would look
Well,
really
some
cool
of them
at
used to
night.
like decorate them with Christmas too.
Yeah, Christmas, they were doing some decorations, and we all hated that on Main Street. I just really got to do the banks of trees, so. I hated it.
Yeah.
Dan's over here going, oh crap.
I was gonna say, we had to do all the trees since I was here. Turn everything into a 2-week freaking deal just to get ready for Christmas. And everything else had to go on the back burner.
That's why I say
Unfortunately,
those halogen things that you put at the bottom, they stay all year round, and they still look nice at Christmas.
and just remember, we don't have 14 people anymore.
Right.
We had 14 people when I started working there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That way you don't have to light up those trees, cause that's a pain to light up
It
the tree.
is.
Well, it used to be the business owners, and then they got so big they just wrapped the
Yeah,
trunks and,
they got to, yeah.
yeah.
But the tree, the big thing with replacing old trees is not so much Christmas time, it's more this time of year when they're nice, because that Main Street gets hot.
Mhm.
And if you have trees there, it'll cool it by 20 to 30 degrees.
What about like cherry blossom? Is it what's called? My kid had one in his yard. I can't remember the cherry something. And it bloomed. It was beautiful.
These out by the pool are pretty,
They're like,
Oh, those lilac trees?
what are they? You have
They're a
to-
crab apple.
no, they're
What
like
about the
cherry.
purple
no crab
ones?
apples.
They're an ornamental crab
Those
apple.
look purple.
They got
Get this big.
blooms on them and
I got one
Yeah.
spring.
But they
They
drop?
smell
Yeah.
They
forever,
do
they're
drop.
But they
beautiful.
smell like lilacs.
The concern is making it a
Canadian
crime pharmacy if an
choke
old
cherry.
person
Choke
is,
cherry.
that steps on it
Choke
and
cherry,
falls.
okay.
then
Well,
that's-
those don't.
The plan, I think, one plan is to, you already got the bank, you already got the pool, it's just kinda
Take
bring
it
it
way
across.
down.
Mhm.
would be, I don't think those trees get real tall.
Well, they're not supposed to, and they're approved for streets.
So I
On the
would,
USDA website.
doing something like
Are they
that.
considered like a designer tree, where they don't get real big?
Just buy fake Christmas trees.
But that's one plan.
No, we gotta
If
save
want more
that for
shade,
the,
then we're gonna have to
for the
do
fountain.
something, you know,
We'd have to have something taller.
yeah.
So is it just about shade? I'm just sitting here listening to you, I literally have no dog in this fight, but is it
No,
about
I think
shade
it's
or
more
the
about-
trees?
It's more about
Beautification is what's the key. is
Beautification,
getting
but you
people-
look at how many people gravitate towards that shade.
So,
And it doesn't take much. If there's a bench and you got a tree next to it, people are gonna sit on it.
Well, I mean, people used to say St. Francis is such a beautiful town, you go down Main Street, it's all the trees,
Yeah.
that's what they remember.
what about
So
shade
who's in-
structures that would
Who's
be
in
pretty-
charge of looking into all this?
The Washington Street Beautification Committee is the ones that have kind of, I mean, we've talked for years about doing some artwork, doing
Well,
some
that was
planter
on
boxes,
with my
so.
first term.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
yeah,
So what do we, I mean, what's, are they even meeting?
we haven't for a while.
They need to have a meeting.
Okay.
I'll get on it.
Just make sure you don't get trees that also drop berries, because
Those
the
are
Yeah.
birds
also,
like them, and then
they like
apparently
trees.
intoxicate them,
And
and
maybe
they
we
fly
can
into
get something
windows.
this fall to where we water trees in the spring.
What if you get, gotta be pretty hardy, cause we don't water them
Well, these are-
trees, do we?
I mean, the ones at the pool, still there. I got two in my yard.
They don't ever get watered, do they? At the pool, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got
With the
sprinklers.
Do they have
It's tied in
sprinklers
with
on
it.
it?
Well, they're not
Well,
really
that's when they
watering on Main
originally
Street.
did
Well,
this,
we
Eric
still
Fiala
water
watered
it.
those trees all the time,
I know
so.
it was
Just
watered,
gotta find
but
something hardy.
I don't remember
Well,
water being,
The first 2 years, every
Add
tree needs to be
trees.
watered.
No, so
Right.
he'd get the water truck and
and go
in the
hit 'em
evenings,
all.
yep. So that would be a concern that somebody might have to water on occasion. I don't know how much access to water there are. Speaking of Washington Street, did we ever get quotes on the curb and gutter out here? Or on the park?
Or up there across from the school.
No, I did talk to him about the park, I don't think we ever got anything on it.
Cause you asked him about, I know I talked to him about out here. Curb and gutter on Main Street, is that our responsibility or is that the business owner?
I've asked that question many times, I don't know the answer to that.
I just know clear, down by river, that curb's busted out and those pavers are falling off and I thought somebody needs to probably, I don't know if that's our responsibility, but I thought at one time, there was a certain part of Washington Street that was,
Well, when they put in that, all that stuff back in the 90s, the city paid for all that, didn't we? I would say that makes the curb and gutter ours. Because we want to maintain that brick and keep it looking nice, and the curb is part of what keeps that in place.
I just know the ordinance on curb and gutter are the homeowner's responsibility, and I thought there was an exception for part of Main Street on that.
She's gonna have that.
Yep.
If she doesn't have it memorized, she's close.
And then it's gonna get recodified, and then she's gonna be all screwed up, cause it's gonna be,
No, I'll have that one memorized. I've been in that one so much.
I think we kind of do a little project maybe next year, with get these curb and gutters fixed in some of the water leaks they had, because they're sinking pretty good. The big patches. And cutting those out and just pouring concrete again. And then maybe over there, still by the bank over there, doing something with that intersection still.
Well, and that could be part of the Washington Street beautification thing, get it all, put it all in one.
yeah,
Might even be able to get grant funding for some of that.
Well, we're trying to get that, but
trees
That would
and
be
that
the
kinda
thing,
stuff,
put
yeah.
get grant money.
I think we just do the green, that's it.
Another thing that I've been asked is what are we gonna do with the trees that have been cut down? They're getting all the volunteer growth and stuff on them.
That's a day.
Better. I mean, do we,
We started tearing a bunch of them out, we just haven't got back.
oh, you guys have done, it. Okay. I wasn't sure if we needed to contract that out or not.
Well, we were doing it.
when they have time.
I
That's
get
why they're
that,
still there.
I get that.
Hold on, I got it, hold on. It shall be the responsibility of the abutting property owner at the owner's expense to maintain the existing curb and gutter in good repair and condition at all times. Any broken or damaged curb or gutter removed shall be immediately repaired and replaced with curb or gutter restored to as close as possible its previous dimensions and design. Any alteration to the placement, dimensions, and or the design of the curb and gutter shall be subject to prior approval of the city.
Nothing
Is that
exception
strictly
to-
residential?
That's the whole
Doesn't
city.
say residential though.
So it would be the whole city. I thought there was an exception.
I agree with what you said though.
I think there might,
Was that on
City put it in.
sidewalks? What is that on?
I can
feel
look,
like
I
there's
can
an
look on
exception.
I can look on sidewalks.
Okay, look on sidewalks
As
and
a
see.
city, I think we should take care of it.
Yeah, thank you.
I know there's an
On-
exception.
on
I feel
which-
that there's an exception for part of, at least part of Maine. I'll let her keep them. Anything else project spending, we can come back if she
Yeah.
finds something.
All of it.
All of it?
Shouldn't the goal of project spending be that they're no longer pending?
It's not the graveyard to get.
I mean, I've been watching this stuff for years, and I don't even know what the policy for liability insurance, additional insured, what that is.
That's been
That's
there
been
for a
on.
long time.
I don't even know that we need that.
And the band show grants, hasn't that dog already been hunted?
Yes and no,
Gonna get grants to do the inside.
yeah. I've been digging into that a little bit, it's gonna be horrendously expensive. So I
Even,
haven't,
even though we're in that, what's it called, that special category, historical,
that
Mhm.
makes it even
That makes
more
it harder.
expensive.
so then why are we in it?
That's one of the things
Okay.
I've addressed a couple of times, and that boils down to a decision by.
Just to make sure nothing happens to it,
Well, and the thing is, once it's in that, I don't know that you can get them out, can you?
Kinda like having a, what's it called, where they sign you up for these homes?
Timeshares.
Yeah, timeshare, kinda like having a timeshare, you can't get out. So what about the Roadside Park, City Park project?
They're working on it,
We're talking playground renovation committee.
is that different than what
Yeah.
he's talking about?
We were talking roadside park, city park, when they had addressed the bathroom, because
Mhm.
the roadside park bathrooms needed renovated, and TAP, we thought we could kind of put that all together. TAP's kind of doing their own simplified, make it functional. They've taken the bathrooms out, so, I mean, I guess
Oh.
that'd still be roadside, those need updated.
So can I go way back to my first term?
Uh-huh.
My first term, there was a certain entity here in town who was supposed to put new equipment in those roadside park bathrooms, and we'd already paid them, but they haven't been done yet. Did that ever get done?
On the doors?
Yeah.
No.
So we paid and it ain't never been done.
Nope, we lost the equipment,
Yeah.
some of the equipment.
Okay.
Some of
The hardware was not,
Wasn't that COVID funds
yeah.
Yeah,
that we passed through?
Mhm.
right. Okay, and you mentioned the city hall planters, flagpoles, we're kind of on top of that already, aren't we?
Well, yes
That
and
was-
no. See, if you put the trees in, plan is to get, a landscaper who has the trees and who can put those in. Do something same way with out here, just tie it all together.
Sure.
So that
Yeah.
that was my.
Okay.
And part of that was when they redid the front steps. I don't know if you were on when they redid the front steps. They were supposed to pull those bushes out. And they
Yeah.
didn't. So now we're kind of in this conundrum of,
Okay.
we have the bushes that need tore out, but now we have new concrete, so.
But couldn't we realistically have about half of these gone in 2 or 3 months if we wanted to? Or at least
Utility,
consolidated?
Cause really, the city hall planters and flagpoles we could put up with Washington Street playground renovation, I mean, really the roadside park, city park project is all kind of one and the same.
And didn't, I think Larry had the idea, and I thought we were kind of on board. When they take out that playground equipment up there, didn't we all kind of agree that it would be a good idea to just put it up there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
as long as it doesn't turn into any kind of liability issue.
Right.
And replacing some trees out there.
I'll just need to get and have that replace them.
The playground renovation committee, they're still working on raising funds. They're gonna do the, match here in September, I think it's September 16th. Up at the high school. I mean, they're still working on it. Coming
Gotta
up
be
with the funds.
2029, 2030 before, if I had to guess, before we're moving on that. It's just a lot of money.
Yeah,
That's fine.
There's not a caveat.
There's not a caveat.
Do we want a caveat? If there is, it's no, I mean, it's not in the sections pertaining to it, or in the section, or in 2 sections before or 2 sections after. I mean, I can go hunting through the code to see if there is, but one would think that it would be.
what are we back to the
Curb and gutter, there's no caveat for Main Street, Washington Street.
But that is part of the city code, again, it comes down to enforcement. If it needs replaced, we can replace it and bill them, or they can replace it.
You're talking about along Main Street?
If the curb and gutter's bad enough, it's tearing up the sidewalk, just like we did curb and gutter tearing up the street. Send a letter. Which, what was the curb and gutter we did send a letter on? Was that so?
Just
Up on Scott?
Huh?
Was it Scott?
Yeah.
Is it from Scott?
Did we give them a time frame?
Well, I didn't send the
They
letter.
did give me time frame, I can't remember what it was.
I don't know why that's September stuff.
We'd have to look.
Even minutes, we did do that.
You're
What's
talking
that?
about just north of the Methodist Church?
Yeah.
Yes.
We give a timeline, and then we set a timeline, but I don't remember what it was.
Well, I think policy for liability insurance, additional insured, I think that was just adding the city as an additional insured. And I thought we had addressed some of that, didn't we?
Now we have them put it on there like for special events and stuff. We tell them, you have to list us, like on the, for the alcohol ones, we tell them to
Yeah.
put us in there.
I feel like we've already addressed that one. I think we can take that one off. And the shipping containers can come off, right? Utility rates, we do need to probably address at some point. Instead of listing, I'm with you, instead of having, we have playground, we have van show, we have roadside park, we've just got, I think we could consolidate it into parks, don't you, and kinda just list them and have,
Put all that under parks.
yeah. I think we just consolidate those. And really, KDOT access road crossovers, is that? I mean,
Well, I know
I guess
the
we
city
could
hall
put
kind of thing, like Jess was saying, that and Washington Street beautification, that could be the same thing.
yeah.
KDOT one. Did we get the retraction put into the paper or
We
the
did.
correction? Good,
Mhm.
'cause I haven't seen the paper.
Oh, it did get corrected?
We did get a correction.
We got it to them, or it's been printed already?
It's been printed and it went to KDOT and that kind of
And they cleaned it up.
back down. So, yeah, and then they did more work, so.
Cleaned off the sand they put
Yeah,
on.
they did.
I thought maybe it washed away and just down my alley.
Yeah. Sure got a
Well,
little
down my
urine.
alley and then out in front of your
I was waiting for a good gully washer.
Was there a little bit of rock in that?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, why did we take all that?
Well, because they put it on there, it got so hot that they're starting to tear it apart, and then so they threw that on there, and then thinking, it's gonna fix it.
It was poorly done to start with, and it will be poorly done until we own it.
But I think we can, come up with some sort of design idea to fix it, eliminate it, and take that to KDOT and ask for assistance in getting funding. I think there could be some availability federally. I think KDOT would be willing to work with us.
It is election year.
What's that?
It's an election year.
And a new governor could completely change everything, so, I mean, it might kind of not hurt to just kind of sit tight till we figure out what kind of appointments they make, cause you hate to,
We're gonna be low on the priorities regardless, so.
well, you are, but you hate for them to go in and appoint somebody new to transportation and then they get a whole new administration and they're focused
Start
a different,
over.
you start over, we might as well just hold off, we're this close. So,
And at least you can't lose small cars in the holes.
yeah. Pretty good? Got some. All right.
Are we leaving the code the way it is for the curb and gutter on Main Street? Okay.
I was just always under the impression that there's a different,
I could see that because it would make sense because so that it was uniform. I mean, if it's piecemeal by owner, it has the potential of, you know, looking piecemeal. So I could see why there would be that carve out, but I don't see anything in the
Well,
code.
there's always the possibility of doing the thing that you hate the most. We could add an amendment to that.
I'm fine with you adding an amendment to the
We
code.
haven't
What I'm
finalized it
not,
yet.
what my issue with it is that we discuss it, you make a decision, I move forward with that, we come back and discuss it, and you make a different decision. I have no problem if you want to go through and rewrite the whole code. I have no problem with that. But once we make the decision,
Let's stick with it. I'm with you.
that's where I have the issue. Is we go through it and we make these changes, and we've spent God knows how many hours doing it, and then we change something that we just changed.
What would we need to do to make it explicit that the curb and gutter on Washington is a city's? What
do you think we could look back through some old code to see if it was in there and got taken out?
Yeah.
I don't think you want all of all of Washington Street.
I mean, I would think you would want probably from
Benton to River, just those,
Well, we own
No,
most of the-
actually, cause don't you want the parks included?
well, we own the parks. So.
the
We own
city owns the
parks.
parks.
We own the pools,
So-
so that would be our responsibility
Anyways, but I would include it just so that you were consistent.
Because then you've got that block up there,
And you got that next
residential, so
block
you
up that's
wouldn't
got one,
Then if you're gonna
What's
do that,
this?
then how are you gonna fix the handicap grade?
The what?
sound like,
The handicap, what they've been asking about?
That's-
I say we table it to next month so we can come back and we decide something different.
Handicap
Yeah.
where?
when you're-
You know, they-
That's fine if you want to table.
Just kidding.
Oh my God, that's
I mean,
fine if you table it. It's once you make a change and I put the change in and then you change it again.
So I just don't know if it was in there
Fixing,
at some point.
I can take a look. I can take a look.
Because we'd have some old code, we could just look real quick.
I mean, I can go do that. Where are the old code books? I'll just go grab them and do that right now.
They're in my
I think Main Street should all be one end to the other.
Can I go grab
from
them? Do you want
college
me
all
to
the
go?
way down
Yeah.
personally.
That's my thoughts.
Cause if we, yeah, the city owns clear up to Western State, okay, so from Western State Bank, you've got one block.
and they've done
Two sides.
a lot to it, so.
Well, but then,
And you
And
you
that-
actually got two businesses on that street.
Yeah, cause you got Crave now too, that curb and gutter down through there is kind of, well, and up by the high school
yeah, but then let's say
awful.
you and I are responsible for our curb and gutter on Quincy, but David lives on Washington, so he gets his done for free from the city.
I
You know,
think
it's-
the
so
po- I
that's
think-
where you-
Wait a minute.
I think
Let's table.
is the point of. I mean, the point is to make it look I mean, it's the same as the trees, right? You wouldn't be doing it where you're not considering doing trees and all of the.
I think it was
uniform
just
stuff.
the downtown road type.
Oh, hello, old friends. Let me look.
On the driveway with a little metal band used as rebar sticking out.
Maybe that's why it was never in there, you know, to just treat everybody the same.
Yeah.
Was it a thing where maybe it's not in there?
Actually, if we would just go from Benton to River, have the city take ownership of, or have the exemption for that belongs to the city and everything this way. Yeah, we've got, the county's got that one, we've got this side, and then,
You lost me. The county's got what?
that side of the street.
Which, I mean, they've
courthouse.
got a parking lot, you know, so that curb and gutter's actually
It's,
moved up even.
yeah. So they wouldn't have curb and gutter, but, well, they do.
They do, it's just up on their,
Well, they have a gutter, don't they,
Yeah,
into it, their parking.
yeah.
but
I just
that's
could see why
actually-
that's maybe, cause then how do you tell some, you know, a business that's not on Main Street that, you know, is everybody's responsible for their own? Cause they replace it, they gotta get a building permit, you would control what kind of, you know, it's not like people are gonna have different curb and gutter
Yeah.
up and down the street.
I think consistency on Main Street though, that's gonna be a looks, it's like having the trees.
Like I said, with the building
Consistency.
permit, you're gonna approve it and you'll be like, it has to be, you know, you're gonna be able to control it with a building permit
Pretty much.
to run concrete, so.
With the exception of if it's done here, like a little piece.
You're still approving a building.
Right,
permit.
but I mean, if it's all done at once, like a block is done at once, it looks more uniform than. To use myself as an example, we just had curb repair and sidewalk repair on the lot next to my house. You can't tell me that doesn't look starkly different from the rest of the curb and gutter on the street and the sidewalk on the street. I mean, if the purpose is the unification and the beautification.
Right, but if there's part of it that doesn't need it,
I was gonna say, that
Part
gets
of it done.
expensive if you've got
Yeah.
this one little 6-foot chunk down there at the end of Main Street and you're gonna do that whole entire block just to make it look uniform, you're looking at a big expense. You're just gonna replace the concrete that needs replaced regardless of if it's at your house or on Main Street, you're not gonna pay that expense to make it all brand new shiny concrete.
It's not in 2003. I will check. 97 or 94, whatever it is.
Well, to,
But if you're gonna do part of it,
Table it.
next meeting,
if you're gonna do part of it, trying to enforce it to the people that, like him, or Fiedlers, tell them you gotta pay for your own, but we're paying for everybody else's. Try to be the enforcer of that.
yeah. That's why I think it's probably, we thought that, but it was everybody pays their own. And
And if it needs maintained and you're not going to fix it,
Well, I
And it
know,
might have been that way because back in the 90s, the city did this big sidewalk project and they did it from Benton to River, actually went down a little bit even further, you know, that.
it went clear down to, or to Angles.
Yeah,
there's
But
this much
that,
back.
I mean, they actually redid all that at that
Mhm.
time, that might be why.
I'm pretty sure
It
the
was
city
assumed
paid
that the city took care of it because they did the big project.
Yeah, so, yeah.
That's probably
Let's
why
leave
it
it
was just
alone.
maybe, I
but I
think
do
leave
think
it
we need
alone.
to do something with Main Street.
Well, we've got areas that definitely need a letter sent, fix it.
I think we need to do our part and fix our.
Well,
fix
and
our
that's what I'm
part
like, we
too.
need to fix our curb and gutter before we start really enforcing others and waiting on Brock for a quote.
Really, the telephone company,
Theirs is bad.
Oh, there's, yeah, getting the telephone company to do
I
anything.
know, did the city pay for that stuff we did here? It's a years ago.
We'll have to find out. Table it.
Yeah, we'll do some more looking on it. Theater report, I think we already covered that, didn't we? Okay, pool report, just in time.
Saturday was the last day of open swim.
What happened to Sunday?
I don't know, haven't heard yet. Haven't heard. New labs and exercise through, I think, the 27th. I don't have any definite answers on why we have no staff with all the kids that we have. It just doesn't make any sense. So we're gonna have to address some things different. I think we've gotta get some adults hired. It's just getting somebody that's willing to step up, take the training, and actually do it as a part-time job. That's the tough part. But I think we've talked about it for years, about having some extra adult help. We just haven't been able to get anybody to really apply or step up. So, I don't know, we're looking for ideas if anybody has them. Banging our heads against the wall, we don't feel like we're getting anywhere.
We can put something on our Facebook page about getting adults to, we need adult lifeguards also. Need hiring.
I was thinking about that though. I have been watching in my other line of work, I've got 12 lines of work right now, but in my pastoral line of work, I've watched, in the last 4 months, I've seen 4 ministers arrested for things with children.
In the tri-state area.
I mean, right around here. I don't know if I'm a father, if I want some grown man on a tower
Yeah, I give
watching
you
my
that.
daughter.
I give you that.
I mean, you know what I mean? I think that might be fraught with peril. And it shouldn't be, but I could see how it could be.
Well, and I have a feeling you're gonna get more the ones that I know of that expressed an interest even have been females, so. But that doesn't
But then
do
you will
away
get caught.
with that issue,
Yeah.
but really,
You guys do background checks? Maybe something
On
to do
any,
background
you mean
check.
on the kids?
Yeah,
On
it's
adults,
all
you
adults,
should
but,
do.
yeah.
Might have to on the adults.
I would do it on adults for sure.
Well, kids too,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can on the kids.
You're not gonna find out anything on background check on a kid. You're
Are
just
you gonna
not
find it out on an adult? I mean, do you think
Generally-
that the ministers that have been arrested for
Yeah,
allegations with a child had anything on their background checks?
yeah.
Well, they all now.
Yeah.
Don't you know?
It's
So,
on-
yeah.
If they
it's
go
on the
someplace
record
out of
now.
state, they will now. So,
And there's always first time for those people, so.
If you implemented that one, that could be part of personnel code and do background checks on everybody we hire.
Yeah.
well, probably should.
Oh my gosh, if it gets out there that we've hired someone like that, then you're talking about big time news. That news will travel fast.
Oh, yeah.
So,
That would have to be a standard thing for throughout the whole
right.
hiring process, correct?
Yeah.
Well, just follow up on, references, do we do that, and, we know maybe who it might be, but really don't really know any of these people
You
anymore.
talking adults or kids?
Well, I'm talking about anybody, right? Kids too, if they got references, or they call and say, what's this kid like,
Teachers have been getting arrested and they do KBI background checks on them.
But you could ask,
I'm sorry, what?
Teachers have been arrested a lot recently and they do a KBI background check on them.
Yeah. That was it Colby that they just had one arrested?
Yeah.
Well, we've had a gentleman on the pool board that, in fact, he's a former city councilman, that's been around, been a teacher for years, and I mean, take a lot of the people that are on the board have interactions with kids all the time. It's just a different way of looking at things for a younger generation. It's not a priority like it used to be back in the day. You had a job, you worked as many hours as you possibly could, and that's the way I grew up.
director or the pool manager shouldn't have the freedom to make the hours. I don't get to make the hours for the city. They don't get to make the hours for their office. It ought to go through the pool board if they're not gonna be open,
Yeah.
whatever,
That's a good point.
so.
I'm
Wait a
surprised that
minute,
it's
so
not.
it's
I mean,
not?
yeah, that's what I'm,
No,
I'm surprised that
she made her own, I never knew anything about it. I read or heard about it from
and that's
Facebook, but
completely
she
I didn't either.
backwards that,
Yeah, we didn't know about it till
That's
after
what I'm
the fact.
saying, she's pretty much making her own hours.
well, and it was pretty much a directive from the council to stay open until school started.
Try to.
I mean, the council has the final say, but the pool board should be making the decisions, and yet the manager's
It's
making the
backwards.
decisions.
I think we need at least a meeting a month when the pool's open, at least.
And maybe advertise now,
Maybe more.
and not wait till spring, just advertise now.
Start advertising because there may already be people out there that have lifeguard.
That could be an ad at the movie theater.
There you go.
There you go. Does the city get free advertising, or do you pay for it?
You have to take it up with the board.
Well,
Was that lawyer enough? I'm learning a little bit.
Anything else?
Repeat after me.
Report? So motion to accept and file the full report. Moved by Randy, second by Justin. Superintendent report.
Reports for the water main should be here this week, and Scott will be on vacation till next week, so I'll probably start
Next week.
first part of next week.
Up there, over here.
He wants to start up there, but if we keep having problems down here, we're gonna switch gears. It's like about 4 or 5 leaks down here this summer, in the last few months.
On the same street?
Mm-hmm, same log.
Emerson Street, we just had one last week too, Friday.
another one,
Mm-hmm.
same block.
Did Rock say maybe when he's gonna start?
On what? On Spencer Street? Brock, as soon as Scott's gonna dig it up, put the main in, and Brock's gonna come in and start. That's the plan right now, anyway, from what I've heard. We did get the valve to work at the school, so, but there's still gonna be some cost to it. Long story to that.
Sorry.
The amusement authority asked to keep the benches till after Labor Day, cause they're gonna do, sound like they're gonna do the fair again. Then they'll go from there to the park.
When is that date? Is it Labor Day weekend?
Labor Day
Yeah.
weekend.
If you go,
Pool should be open.
Wow, way to go, Justin.
It's worth a shot.
We should have just done what we talked about in the very beginning and covered it, and then closed pool.
And you'd still be closed because you couldn't find lifeguards, so. Year round.
I mean,
instead
you got
of just-
AI now, drowning.
Put a plastic cover over it, take care of all of
Then
it.
you got a claw that comes.
When I do Emerson Street,
Yeah.
when we do that main, we're probably gonna have to pack it in with Mellings for now. We can order asphalt, but Hayes wants us to order a whole semi-load of asphalt if we get it
For which one?
for Emerson Street, so we'll probably pack in Mellings and then hopefully it'll pack in good and tight. I called Hayes today and talked to them, they said anywhere between $3,500 and $4,000 for a semi-load, and they don't wanna haul less than a semi-load. I don't know what we're gonna do next year when we need patch, because that's where we used to get it, they used to bring it out of the dump truck.
You're gonna be having nightmares about Emerson Street.
You'd be amazed how many nightmares I have about this joint.
They need everything that they can go in there and
I don't
lay it down.
I mean, he can bring out asphalt,
Yeah.
with his trucks, he can bring it out to us, maybe. Touch base with him and ask him. And then, the thing with the standby generators, do you guys want me to check into that a little more and see, maybe have the guy come out, look it over, see what it's gonna take to put one in? Like
So
a
that-
power plant or
That
what?
way the 12 could start, if we had the, that's where you're talking about those
Right.
backup, yeah.
And I'd like to know if we fix the one, if that also fixes that other one that is linked. You know what I mean? You would say,
On the big engines,
yeah.
What do you mean?
Make them work at the same time or what?
Is that the 12?
So,
But we talked about the 12 and the 9, cause
The
they
12 and
steal
the
from
9.
me, they,
Yeah, but,
Oh, yeah,
Trying
the
to
starter
those, yeah.
water.
right.
Like I said, I don't know what the capacity is on the radiator and stuff and all that stuff, that's other stuff that we need looked at, cause we've got a lot of coils blocked off. But it's a little scary right now not having it.
Uh-huh.
we need to get moving on getting something going.
That's the other thing I know, yeah, that's something.
Well, we can look at putting a standby, or we can look, talk to Fairby a little more, they said they could put pneumatic oilers on, which would use air. And then we'd be able to start the 12, but like I said, the 12's still not big enough by itself, so.
yeah, but then if we could figure out why they're starving, the one starves the other,
I thought that's what we were gonna do, is
I
have
don't,
yeah.
figured,
yeah, they were gonna look into it when they were out here, didn't have time this time, but they could do it when they come out later.
okay.
But getting an idea of what the backup generator would cost, so we could get the 12 going as is.
Yeah, I can check into that and the other way both.
And we were gonna try to
Okay.
get it automated.
Yeah, and the automation and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I said, I looked at it once and I don't remember, I don't even know if we have enough to be able to run the town. That night we hit triple digits, it was, we were, like I said, we were pumping 3.5, 4 megawatt out.
Well, even if a guy had just the 12 running, you can always do like they do in California, roll it.
Mm-hmm. I'll check on it. So that, the old, let's see, what am I looking at? The ultra sleeve for like a bell fitting, underground to fix it, if it's leaking at the bell fitting. We just had to order one a while back, we've already had to use it, a new one for $1,895.75. We probably ought to have another one if
You're gonna have to have it.
it happens, so.
Didn't we approve getting repairs done on the engines down there?
We did, but then we're gonna he was gonna do some more checking, right? On this stuff?
On the backup generators, but I thought we approved to go ahead and do the work on the 12
That's what I
and the
thought.
automation and.
The automation,
Yeah.
how we did too.
I don't remember approving it.
Well, I thought we had agreed to, and then you were gonna do some additional checking, and then
On
I
the
think,
standby generator and stuff,
Yeah.
yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but on the 12, we decided to do the automated, correct?
Right.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
But then I thought you were gonna check on something with that. But I mean, that was the consensus was to move
Yeah.
forward on the 12 and automate it, but then I thought you were checking into
But,
something.
well, he was checking on the.
We were waiting to
backup.
see what across the street, weren't we?
Oh, the substation?
Yeah, weren't we waiting on that before we moved forward? Was that what we were waiting on?
I gotta make another phone call on that.
Is Sunflower, is the end point our substation?
No. No, it goes around, there should be a map in
Yeah,
there.
there's a map in there, that's why I was asking.
Probably top
I
of the
couldn't
hill.
tell from that, is it at the top of the hill out there?
You can't tell.
Can't really tell from the map, but
So, yeah, that's. So on the water clamp, I'm good. Do I need a motion?
Yeah, how much was it again?
$1,895.07.
Second.
8 cents.
Moved by David, second by Larry, all in favor?
And for for some of the stuff we need for Ward, I got a bill somewhere. Anyway, it totaled $18,212.78, and I would still need to look at cross arms and braces. That was for like cutouts, wire, some of this stuff, and the wire I still gotta get footages on. So maybe we gotta wait till next meeting to prove anything on that. Let me get the footages and stuff, and then
Okay.
get it for sure on that one. So. I'll pass this, you guys can move this. I found this one on Alpex's website. If you'll pass it, take one pass, and that's the list of trucks they have right now. I think we need to start thinking about pulling the trigger pretty soon. We got a kid hired that was.
How's it going?
We probably, he's doing good. I mean, we haven't done much line work, obviously, we've been involved with water leaks.
Emerson Street has been occupying your time.
He's learned water real well so
Yeah,
far.
he's learning it. And then our old bucket truck, if you guys allow, we're just talking about keeping it. Maybe go ahead and test it for now, just, we could use it for Christmas time.
Christmas
We put
lights.
2 small bucket trucks out instead of the big and the small. Plus they're gonna, if we don't use the boom, I mean, we obviously can't work on the boom, so if something goes wrong with the boom, we'll take it off. We'll use it to pull the ditch witch around, the water guys will use it to pull the ditch witch and stuff like that. The pictures of that one, that's I mean, it's a little bigger truck than what you're looking at 550 is gonna be. Trust me, when you go up in the wind, you want as much touching the ground as you can get.
91,000 miles on a diesel just broke in good.
I would think so. I mean, I don't know a lot about international, so. So these 2 pages sitting here are just, these are new trucks, I don't have pictures of them or anything, they're just what they just got in.
What's everybody's thoughts?
Where's that out of? Home service?
This one?
Yeah.
Out of, it's located in North Carolina, but it's an Altech truck, so they'll go get it, they'll run it through their service. For this price, it goes through their service, gets all the dielectric testing, stress tests, all that stuff.
If it fail, we're clear of it then?
Well, yeah, it'll fail before they ever bring it out if it fails, cause they'll have to test it before it gets here. Now,
Are we, do we absorb that payment, to fix that, or is it,
if it fails,
yeah?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, I've not asked them that specific
I just
question.
wanna know if we bought for $130,000 and then it doesn't work, and then
Right.
do we pay for the repairs, or do we, is it just?
No, I get what you're saying, but I would think if it failed, they would just be out, cause then I would say we should crack it.
Is that delivered?
Should be,
Yeah.
should be delivered.
I think that's a pretty good deal if they'll do what they said. It's inspect it, go through all the work and then deliver it. Don't know if you're gonna find, if you can't, a better deal, I don't know.
Yeah. What do
That's
you
when you
think?
pass the pictures around it.
That was 130.
I didn't look, what was the miles on it?
1,000.
91, something.
I mean, I can obviously ask that question before I say I want to buy it.
Cause it was a 21, is that right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if you look at this, any of these on the list with 21, I mean, they're anywhere from 65 to 100,000 miles in that $130,000 range, so.
This is, well, part of the, so some of these on here are a lot cheaper, cause they're not this material handler, so.
Yeah.
It'll help. I mean, he can lift small transformers with it, and use it to pull stuff up.
Is there a motion?
I'll move.
Moved by Justin, second by Randy to pay it out of oil. Dan, what, reserve? Out of cycle? Okay. Is that your motion, Justin?
Yes, that was
Okay.
my motion.
That was Justin's motion and Randy's second. Do I, everybody, all in favor? Okay.
Trash trucks.
Yeah, that's coming up soon, probably.
Sooner than we,
Dan, is this sunflower deal gonna actually change anything for us?
no.
I don't think it,
Cause
this,
they're
Amanda
just
and I
going
went through
from
some stuff.
Holcomb to Wyoming, is that right?
They're hitting their main line, so.
Yeah, so it's just down here in the southern part of Cheyenne County, and then it goes into Colorado. So it's not gonna
I think
even
it
be
just-
close to saying,
You know, I think somehow it ties into where it makes everything more resilient from what, so we'll be able to handle this 3-4 megawatts that's going out of here.
Are they still feeding up north?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All that's gonna stay there.
Okay.
This is just the additional stuff going in, and I just got it today, and I figured you guys will have it passed.
yeah, and I
on.
don't, I mean, that's been a while since that meeting
Yeah.
with them. But I mean, I don't think it was gonna interrupt any service or anything when they
No, I didn't.
went
sound
through
like it.
with that. I mean, I don't think it's gonna affect us any.
You know, that there are people around Goodland complaining about it really hard.
Or,
I do have something, the new fiber optic place, or new fiber, was in Goodland, they're having to tear up a lot of things because it wasn't deep enough, so. Just a,
Idea Tech.
yeah, so,
I've seen some lines going into people's,
just something to be aware of, maybe here could be the same possibility, so.
I had a salesman get really nasty with me when he came by to talk to me. Couldn't get him to leave.
of course, didn't
I
they
didn't
get
have
us?
an issue, I told him make most of the work that he's doing and just go away. I said, you're not cheaper. But, yeah, in my, down by the alley, they've got one of their deals sitting on the ground. They didn't even fasten the lid down on it, so I'm having to put it back on all the time.
I think there's still a wire bank, D-bank in that alley,
Yeah.
across the
Yeah.
alley.
Well, if you look at that line going, yeah, there's, no, it's,
Kinda getting to wondering about them.
yeah. Well, as much stuff as they tore up when they were running it down the alleys and not deep enough, but yet they had a sewer line, so they were deep enough there.
So I'll have to look into whether we approved to move forward. I didn't think we approved anything on that Fairview mechanical, but we talked about it.
We talked
and I
about it when we were
thought
going to,
put it
and then
on
you
hold.
were gonna,
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna double check or look into something, and I can't.
Well,
We talked about the transformer across the street,
Yeah,
and we
well,
talked about,
Trent talked about that.
but
we were all in agreement to move forward on it, but then we,
Yeah, that's, I'm getting the 12.
I thought it just had to do with the,
and then
backup
trying to
generator.
check on
And
the
the
9 to
backup.
see why they're.
I thought it was backup generator and the substation that he was gonna check on.
That's what I thought, and then the 12 we were good with, and we wanted to see why the 12 and 9 were shared with each other.
Well, and he's, yeah, Dan said something at that point with, starving each other for water,
Mhm.
and they would look at that. So, I think we just need to move forward.
Yeah, we don't need to let any moss grow on it because
Yeah.
Lord, I said we use.
We-
I'm just saying, I'm just afraid so I'm letting you guys know now, one thing's gonna lead to another, and it's gonna be, we're gonna be looking at radiators down the road and
Mhm.
all that, cause we have, I forget what our capacity difference is since we've plugged off all the holes up there.
That they're on the east side of the plant.
Yeah, the radiators. I'll look in and see if we can get it or get, you know, I will get this other stuff looked into. If I'm done with the school projects and stuff for a while,
Water leaks.
that's all I have.
Do we wanna visit real quick about the light request up at the Mexican restaurant? I mean, they had asked about getting a light kinda on the west side of their property to light up kind of that goes up to
Who's this at?
the Mexican restaurant.
Oh,
Casa
yeah.
Lori's.
Oh, on the west side? Or
On the
east
west
of
side, west side of their property, between them and the emergency building,
Oh,
to
okay.
light that area up.
On that
Initially
little hill-
when-
On that little hill. Where hill's up? You talking
On the,
about?
between them and the emergency building.
Okay, yeah,
You know, where that, their motel part U-shapes, kinda right there to
Right.
light that area
Okay.
out there.
That is a road that goes through there,
Well, and the emergency buildings,
right there too.
and I asked Ryan and he said it would be nice to have that,
Yeah, it would.
but I know, we went up after the last meeting and looked at it. Cause my initial thought when they had asked, I said, well, it's an alley light. Well, it's not really an alley, but it's kinda like an alley light
But-
request, but it's not really an alley light,
It's
you
more
know,
of a
it's more of a street
street light
light,
than
yeah.
Alley light, because that's also takes you back up into the park.
Mhm.
Yeah, put a street light on it. It's just what I need, if there's more light.
There wouldn't be any conflict with the airport putting one up there, would there? I don't think it'd be tall enough.
Wouldn't be tall enough.
Mhm.
and that wouldn't affect any camping up there.
Shouldn't it?
No,
No,
Thinking
And
that-
it's
of moving
kinda-
the
I-
light down the road,
what's
I'm
that?
sorry, I missed part of it, are you thinking about moving the light down the road,
Just putting a light down where they were asking. I mean,
so we'd have to set a pole?
We'd have to set a pole.
Yeah, that would have to be done, but
I just think lighting that roadside park isn't
it'd be a good way to exercise it.
a bad thing with some of the activity that goes on at the roadside park, having that.
Maybe
Oh,
put two
thank you.
poles in, light poles.
One in each entrance in and that, well, cause you said the lights in the shelters aren't working up there?
Well,
At
they
the
do part of
roadside?
the time, but then the breaker blows, I don't know if somebody's trying to plug something into them or if they just are weak from all.
Well, I wasn't even sure those little globe lights worked, but I went up there one evening and they don't put off a lot of light,
No.
those little lights out
Yeah.
there, which you could almost upgrade at some time to put brighter lights
But
in
yeah, it wouldn't hurt to have street lights
on either.
on either end of that, I wouldn't think.
Oh, you-
We have one on at the roadside, on the,
On the west
behind
end.
Casinos, we have one there, we just have, it ain't
It's a
like
yard
we
light
want
for
it
when
to
that
be.
trailer was there, right? Is what that was
It's a
from?
street light,
It's a street light?
yeah, it's a street light, just like we have on the corner.
But was that put in when that Johnson's put the trailer back
I
there?
think I put
Oh,
that in one.
for that, for the
There's a light.
communications thing?
Well, Johnson's had that trailer back there and that light sits right up there by where that trailer
No, I
used to
think I
sit.
put that light up after
After?
that was taken down because they put the camper plugins in up there. But we do need probably one on the other entrance too, coming in.
I just,
I think we ought to just figure on doing those, cause it really is a street entrance to the park and
City property, I feel having it well lit would help.
it might make people more comfortable staying at the roadside park too.
Yeah.
Maybe you wanna hit a sign.
Is everybody okay with that? Dan, are you, everybody good with putting lights in? Okay. Do we wanna talk about the roadside park since we're on it, Jen?
Also, while we're here,
okay.
she found in the minutes, we didn't make a decision on that Fairview stuff. It says in there, we discussed the pricing and then no decision
I
was made.
thought,
I think we need to.
I think we're just waiting on something.
and I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna do some checking before.
Yeah, we'll wait, I just say
Okay.
that there's nothing, no decisions were made, so we're not.
Well, I feel like the consensus was to go that route, but you were gonna check on something and I
Check
can't
on some
remember what it was.
pricing or something.
So we have an issue at the roadside park with people now are plugging in their electric cars and charging them.
For
and
free.
they're not paying the $25 like the campers do, which we on occasion have a camper that plugs in, right, Jen, that doesn't pay, but most of them are fairly honest.
For the car?
The cars are not. Now, I did mention to Lauren in conversations with Jen and Dan yesterday, when we put that in, when we put those pedestals in, were you on, you were on, when we put those pedestals in up there wasn't ever any sort of thing added to the ordinance as far as enforcement, as far as what they're there for, you know, as far as the paying and that fines if people don't pay. I mean, obviously it'd be theft of services. Now, do we wanna allow the charging of electric cars, or do we just not want to? And at that point, if we don't allow them, then we put signs up and,
So they're using more than
How-
one pedestal, aren't they, to do that? Or are they using the same one?
One pedestal.
How are we gonna oversee it?
I mean,
Well, that's your
It's-
problem with campers and
it's
everything, it's
on your
their
honor
problem.
system, unless, you know, law enforcement,
luck with
you know,
that.
cause we've got the stickers like you do at other campsites, if, you know, we got law enforcement when they're patrolling around to patrol through there and just see. The other thing is to lock the boxes, and they gotta get during business hours to pay to get it unlocked. You know, we talked about that when we had an issue at the ones as well in the city park of locking them. And then you have to.
plugs do they use?
The guy yesterday had an adapter that would plug into
50
That-
amp.
it
a
Just
50
get an
amp plug,
adapter.
and then it adapts his cord, and I'm just gonna tell you, I bet Dan and I sat there, so it all came, so I got a message,
I got a message.
from my guy up there. The car was plugged in,
I know a guy.
possibly, I do know a guy, possibly the same car that last week plugged in. And I'm like, okay, well, let's say this objectively, what am I gonna do about it at noon? I mean, if there's no law enforcement on, I don't know what their schedule is anymore. You know, they went encrypted many months ago. If nobody's on, are they gonna have someone come on early and go, you know what I'm saying? So it was a whole thing with me, so I'm like, okay. Well, then Amanda got a messaged me, so at that point, again, I just don't know if you guys realize how many messages Amanda gets after hours, I get after hours, Dan gets after hours on this kind of stuff that happens in town, so. Told Amanda, we'll just drive up there and look, and we literally sat there for probably 15 minutes, the guy kept charging his car, although I do think we made him uncomfortable, and he finally left, but it's like I told Amanda, in that case, what are you gonna do about that? Because I'm not gonna approach the guy, neither one of us were in city clothes, it's a Sunday, but enforcement is, I don't know how many of you guys have camped at a campground, they usually have an envelope, you peel off your side, you hang it on a post, you put it in your window. Right now, the sheriff's department could be at least enforcing that. When they patrol through, they could stop at the campsites and say, hey, just making sure that you paid, do you have your stub? I'm not sure that's happening, I don't know if it is, maybe it isn't. But in this case, same thing, if that guy would have paid, he should have had his stub. But I don't know how often the sheriff's department's going through there. I don't even know when this was all set up. Well, that would have been before we had the contract with them.
I was gonna say, that would have been when we had our own PD, and so that's
Yeah.
probably something that got lost in translation, that it wasn't,
I still say it falls
I think I've
under the
never seen them
city's
go through there.
responsibilities of the,
Oh, for the
It's-
sheriff's department,
it's
yes.
enforcement of the code, it is
Mhm.
law enforcement. Now, do we need something in the ordinance that states,
so they
The
didn't,
rules
they
of
weren't
the-
paying for, they weren't camping there, they were
No.
just charging the car.
Literally had his car parked there, charging his
So
car.
could we have just called the dispatch and say, hey, could you send someone out?
We probably could do that yesterday, probably could have done that, but when I first got the initial message, I was like, I wasn't gonna drive up there, see what was going on, and then call it in, because maybe by the time I got up there, the guy was gonna be gone, and it's not because I didn't want to, and it's not because I didn't care. It was Sunday, and I had to kinda weigh, you guys wanna pay me overtime to go up there, and then if he's gone, you know what I'm saying? It's been a hard thing, but yeah, but now this is a whole thing, who knows how long I bet he'd been up there
But he
by
was
that
there
time,
last
probably
week.
an hour.
there's one
Local or
there,
out of town?
Missouri plates.
there's one after Fair, I don't know if that's the same one. So there's been one up there, sounds like almost one a week,
Mhm.
that's charging without. So I guess
Put
the
locks
initial
on 'em.
question is, do we want to allow,
Put locks on them.
put locks on them, and they have to, I mean, it's gonna put the campers out.
And I will say this, the one thing I do wanna add, because we take the calls at City Hall, we get, in the summertime, quite a few questions about our roadside park. A lot of people use it yearly, they come through on an annual trip, but some of them are coming in after, now, I don't wanna, I'm just gonna tell you guys from our standpoint. Sometimes they're gonna be coming in after hours, they ask questions about it. And a lot of those people are like, we stayed there last year, it's a perfect place for us to stop, we just need to stop overnight. So it will put some of the campers out. There are times when Dan and I once in a while drive through in the evening, there won't be a camper there. When I go up the next morning, a camper's pulled in for the night, the money's in the box, they literally probably got tired of driving. Just all the stuff to weigh, because we do get a ton of compliments on our campground and how convenient it is for them to stop on their trip. But
I don't
With
think
that
we
being
lock 'em
said,
up with
Well,
after
it's
hours.
a hard
The
thing.
sign up there says you will be fined and charged if you're
Well,
just,
with the automation things anymore, we should be able to put a deal to lock it, that you tap it with your credit card, you're in, you connect up. Otherwise, you don't tap your card to it, you don't get electricity. I don't know how much something is gonna cost or what
And
kind
that's
of
what you use
equipment you'd need,
at
but
an electric car charging station, you gotta use a
They've got-
credit card.
gotta use your credit card or something to pay there.
That's a
And
whole
it-
new device though, isn't it?
Well, we don't have anything, I mean, it sounds like Bud would like to have something.
well, there's no sign out there that says,
There's no sign whether or not we wanna allow cars to charge,
should there be a sign out there that says,
I mean,
this will happen only if you.
and I
Limit how
think
many
as long
years
as we
they
have
have.
something in our code that states what our policy is, correct, and then we can,
You don't need a gun, just like a campsite, you just take your camper out there.
Are we able to put, signs that says, cameras in the area,
we've talked about cameras up at.
violators will be prosecuted?
I think we put cameras up, I think there's a need for cameras we've got people dumping trash, we've got obviously theft of services with them
People
plugging
don't know
in,
what tree
we have
limbs
problems
are.
with the tree limbs at the compost pile, we've got people
There's-
dumping trash at the recycle center. I think it's worth our while to put cameras up there, and then
Security cameras, yeah.
whether or not we want electric cars to be able to charge or not, and then we put a sign that says plugging in without payment is theft of services, and
Well, I have a problem with the campsite of having cameras out there, it's more like privacy thing to me. You're out there camping, the whole part of camping is now being seen by a camera.
but we're not, you're getting the, coming in, you know, you're not getting the whole campsite. I don't know that,
You have cameras at recycle and at the tree plant.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought there was cameras in.
At those two spots, but, I mean, I see what I see what all of you are saying, but if you're not cameraing the whole campsite, how do you know someone's plugging in or not?
Yeah, I just, in this day and age, if you don't expect to
Everybody
be
expects
I think
recorded
a lot of
by a
people
camera.
are very happy about cameras anyway, called deflocking, so.
I see what you're saying, cause you're gonna lose some people who use this on an annual basis. They'll come in after hours, and it's gonna be a complete inconvenience. I see what you're saying, but there's no way to do access by credit card unless you just totally change over the whole system.
And I don't know what
It
those
would,
would
well,
cost.
it would be limited to where we have outlets, would be the only thing. Would you have to change the whole thing?
How many
I mean,
pedestals do we have?
I don't know what type of equipment you would even use for that at this point, without somebody doing some research into it.
I think that just is not gonna be worth the squeeze, but I think they're talking about thousands of dollars.
Well, I'm sure, but
What if you get a call or a text or something, you just turn right around and call sheriff's department and see if they can send somebody up there?
Well, and maybe this is a conversation with Cody too. I've often wondered this, if we could just ask him to have his deputies regularly drive up through there. I mean,
Like I said, I think this started when we had a PD, and then it
Yes.
switched over there, that's something that fell through the cracks that wasn't even on the radar of something that PD checked. I mean, I think that's a simple phone call with.
Well, if you had a $10 theft at the K-store, I don't know if it's called K-store anymore. If you had a $10 theft up there, they're not gonna call the police, they're gonna go out there and they're gonna deal with it. Basically, that's what you have $10 theft going on up here at the charging station.
so, you know, and that may be a conversation, and maybe we need, and I'm just now thinking out loud, so a lot of the campgrounds we go to, there's usually a pole by the pedestal, a lot of times with a campground number, and then there's a clip on there, and then you're supposed to put that stub on the clip. Maybe we need to do some of that stuff to make it easy for sheriff's department, and then when they're patrolling, we can see if they'll patrol through there, one, for especially campers, because if there isn't I might be kind of rude, but even at 1 o'clock in the morning, if somebody rolls in and guys, I don't know what their shifts are now, but say it's 2, they make one swipe through there before they go home. I mean, still theft of service at 2 o'clock in the morning, but, so maybe that's something we can coordinate, and maybe we do talk to him about, it is theft of service, so.
I think the last shift is 2 o'clock.
So-
At 2 o'clock they go home and the next shift starts at 6.
well, they could do 2 runs, one at the ending shift and one first thing in the morning. Cause between the time the last shift.
2 AM to 6 AM?
Yep, at 6 AM, you have somebody else, in case somebody else is pulled in and hooked up and 2 times a day.
Because here's the thing, I go up and check the box Monday through Friday, unless I'm on vacation, I get the money out. But if I know there's a camper up there that hasn't paid, because this has been kind of an ongoing thing, like Amanda said, it was always, well, we put the campground in, but we didn't put it in our code, so we can't go enforce, you didn't pay for your camp spot. So that has always been a thing. But I'm dang sure not gonna go knock on somebody's door. I'm not trained for that. I'm not, even yesterday, you know, we had talked on the phone, maybe we should go talk to the guy, and even Dan was there too, but a Sunday afternoon, 2 people showing up in civvies and not even have a city emblem or a badge, I mean, what's that guy gonna do? Is he really gonna?
Get the loan check guy coming up to
Yeah, cause Dan did have a situation up there one time with a camper that had overstayed his welcome, and he,
no, the camper is the person.
well, he was, camping in his pickup, trying to live here until we kicked him out, so. Just food for thought,
Thought it was
because.
some
Well,
karate dude or
Let's get it in the code, I'll talk with Cody about getting some patrolling up there. Are we gonna allow electric cars to charge, or do we want it just solely for
How do
campers?
you stop? We don't really want them to.
How much electricity would a car charge
It's
the car?
probably cost enough that they don't wanna charge it at their house.
Well, how much is the gas station? I have no idea.
I have no idea, I don't know what it
I've
costs.
never- I can't imagine it's
I mean-
not like.
Well, but here's, I've talked to Robert, and according to him, he's spending $15 a month charging his cars at his house. I mean, it's nominal.
No,
I mean, very nominal. So it's not, but it's still the principle, you're still stealing.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm like, we either, if we allow them, they, you know, we need to put signs that say,
You gotta pay.
you gotta pay, and it's $25 and
And fill out a camping envelope, I
Yeah.
mean, fill out the envelope that's in the box, even
that's what
though
I'm
it's
like, I
camping,
mean,
but.
it's a campground, to me, just no electric car charging, and just use it for campers.
Unless
And
you're camping, stay in the house, stay overnight.
Or you got an
No,
electric car,
so then how you
you got
get
an
it
electric car
outdoors?
pulling the camper, then
Or maybe it's just this car camping.
I don't know. I mean, when they were put in, electric cars really weren't a thing, nor did they probably have adapters that you could plug them into a 50 amp. I don't know, I just, but to have somebody weekly up there doing it without,
Just put a sign up and then ask the sheriff's department to swing through them.
like, yeah, a couple times, once at end of shift, and once first thing in the morning.
if there's cars charging, it's gotta be throughout the day, cause I mean.
I mean, they drive around, why can't they just, I mean, they drive up and down all of the streets, why couldn't they just add that?
Mhm.
And they're parked over there a lot of the
In
times,
front of the museum, yeah.
yeah, catching, looking for speeders, so why not just make a pass through while they, before they park to try catching speeders?
Speaking of signs, have we ever put those no take breaks on?
We have a sign, I think we
Well,
have
I'd put them up, it'd be really nice, especially at 2 o'clock in the morning when you get the cattle haulers going through and they're all going way too fast.
Yeah, like I said, I
And if
can't.
they can wake me up, they're loud.
We've been trying to get stuff done, but we've been tied up with other crap, so. Yes, we have the signs and they have the posts and they do have to be put up in the city limits. The state won't let us put them anywhere but in the city limits.
Got lots of median strips to put them on.
Do you want to have a particular fine for plugging in without,
Authorization.
I think we wait and see what Cody has to say and
Well, I think we can go ahead and get the code, whatever we want for the fine,
update it.
yeah, cause we're gonna have to add something to the code, so Lauren might
Unless
be
it's a
working
fine
on
if
it.
you don't pay for camping.
We don't have it, that's what we're saying, we have nothing in there for the enforcement of
Put a
the.
$50 fine on if they don't pay the $25 to charge.
so $25 plus the $50 fine?
If they don't pay the $25, then they're gonna get a $50 fine.
Right, but then do they still also have to pay the $25?
Yeah,
I
I'd
think
be in
so,
favor
plus
of
the court
that.
cost, I mean, it's gonna be.
So it's 75 plus court cost.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sounds good to me. Make
Will
it
you hurry up and
expensive.
pay now?
Make it expensive if they don't wanna
I guess
follow
if-
the rules.
Are we and we're gonna wait to see if, about the electric vehicles till we talk to Cody?
You guys don't allow electric vehicles,
I don't really see how they can stop them.
I mean, I don't see if they're gonna,
I mean, it's a campground,
you
how many
say
other campgrounds
pretty
allow you
cheap,
to
I would see
charge electric
$25.
cars there, you know? I
Probably
mean,
a lot of them.
I don't think they're gonna be parking there.
What's that?
Well, and I'm sure it's right, because my brother-in-law has a Chevy Bolt, and they drive it everywhere, and he says he spends $20 a month charging it
Yeah,
in
so-
Denver.
I guess I'd be
I'm sure
curious
it's
to see
about right.
what the gas station, charges when you go, like Oasis, you see all of them all right there.
24/7.
Yeah,
I've never heard.
I don't even know.
So they've got
Obviously
the,
cost.
at the
Well, that's-
24/7, they got across the holiday.
Yeah.
I mean,
I bet it's more than a buck or two.
I think if you're gonna allow it, you gotta stick to the same fee, they fill out an envelope, they
Yep.
put their name, they put their,
They pay
everything that a
$25
camper
to hook
does.
up, if they're
25
hooked up without it,
yeah.
they're gonna get,
Yeah, I
Citation.
think,
According to Google,
Same.
charging an electric car at a public charging station typically costs $15 to $45 for a full charge.
um,
That's pretty
25 bucks
good.
is fair.
yep.
Okay.
Park, I guess.
I just wonder if we need to,
In the
I
park.
don't know if we need to update signage that,
You guys might wanna consider just replacing that whole sign, it got hit once, got taped.
did we ever get the registered deeds number off?
Yep, we fixed that, but,
The after hours number was the registered deeds number instead of.
well, that's fine, that's a good place to call.
But
after hours.
this, and I don't remember how much that sign cost, but it got hit a while back, and so the guys went up and bent it and taped it, but maybe it's just time to
Did
look
Hot
at.
Rush do that sign for us?
Huh?
Did Hot Rush do that sign?
Uh-huh.
We could get another one from them.
I could look back and see what it costs, I'm sure it's gonna cost more.
Yeah, I think we just need to update it and probably get one on both
Both sides.
sides.
I definitely think we need one on at least the one side that says payments and stuff are at the west entrance, cause if people do get a little confused, we've had people drive down to City Hall before because they couldn't find the payment box, and then some people will call, so we have to tell them, go over by the tornado shelter, so.
Well, and we could put, if we put signs at both ends, the signs can say it's over by the tornado shelter, so
Payment. Just
the white,
put some sort of,
yeah, put it where they can see them easy. And they'll still not see it.
no, but I think if you put something about enforcement of, I don't know, camping fees or, you know, something that tries to,
Camping or charging fees?
yeah.
Electrical connection fee.
There you go,
Connection
I
fee,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
You can charge my house $15.
For 10? $10 an hour. There you go.
I gotta pay the parking meter too.
Yes, that's true.
yes.
Oh, yeah, make them put money in the parking.
Yeah,
meter.
there you go.
I wish I'd got some of
Are
those.
you done with the superintendent
I
report?
assume everybody's done with the superintendent.
Is there a motion to accept and file the superintendent report?
So moved.
We're still doing the superintendent report?
We don't have a superintendent report 2.0 and 3.0, and it's been moved by Larry, second by Randy, all in favor? Okay. Attorney report.
The property that we got back from Travis Jensen, we filed for tax exemption on it and it was denied.
We had 15.
We had
days.
15 days to file our petition for reconsideration. I got I didn't get the order until 8 days into that 15 days, and it was after the meeting, and we couldn't, we couldn't have done it until this meeting, so we're outside the scope. There's just no way we're gonna meet that. There is an option to, petition to appeal the order with the district court. So the options are either the city's gonna have to pay the tax on that property, which I think Amanda looked into and was gonna be about $225 a year, or file an appeal with the district court, which is due on like the 2nd of September. So the decision, we cannot table this till next time, a decision must be made tonight. Well, I guess you can, but that's your answer.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of money, but it's still
The principle of it is you, like,
principal.
per the statute, like, for the exemptions, a vacant.
Yeah, so they specifically say that a vacant, any property, including a lot which is vacant or lying dormant, which is used or to be used for any governmental or proprietary function, shall be considered used exclusively by the state, municipality, or political subdivision for the purposes of this section. So we told them it was a vacant lot, or the city.
Yeah.
And they said it does not
And it
serve
was
a governmental function, even though they stated it could be. We've never had this issue. We've never run into this before. I mean, we've applied for tax exemptions every time we get a piece of property back, every time we acquire a piece of property, and we've never had an issue.
And it was exempt back in the 70s when they bought it at sheriff's sale, so.
I think
It's
we
just-
go to the district court with it.
And that's
the
one thing,
option.
if we end up, somebody approaches us and we sell it in a year, okay, we have, but if we sit on it for 10, 20 years and, you know, like,
Mhm.
$225 a year is gonna add up eventually.
Save a lot, but I think we go ahead and take it to the district court, because to me it sounds like they're just being, to be kind, stupid. When they 7 days in actuality to take care of something, where they're saying they're giving you 15, but people that can take care of it don't get it for 8 days.
Yeah, they said that they were, it was mailed on,
The fourth.
allegedly it was mailed on the 4th. They stated that they mailed it on the 4th. My office did not receive it till the 12th. Amanda received it, I think, the day after, on the 11th, after the city council meeting, as the appraiser, because she got it at the county building. My office did not get it till the 12th.
Yeah, I think we buy it. It's the principle of the thing.
Question, Heather, David?
Yeah, I think district court knows how mail runs around here. They know how slow.
And it's a district court, that's what, if it was anything other than district, it wouldn't, but.
Larry, Justin?
Okay.
Okay.
Let me add to my list and let me star it, because that is
Then
going to the top of the list.
time is of the essence on that one.
Yeah, that one will be done pronto. The fire hazard property went to municipal court on the 18th, and it was found the city met their burden of proof, and the fine was paid the same day, so that is done. Yep, there was a payment plan asked for, and we notified them that per the ordinance, payment plans are another $50 charge because it's more admin work for the office, and they decided they would pay the whole thing that day, so that case is closed.
That's 603.
616.
6:16. That was in what, Francis? Property specialist.
Yeah.
616. I don't have anything.
JB, was there some journal entries that Wyatt was waiting on?
Yeah, he said he's waiting on 2.
Okay, I thought Kendra ran those yet. I'll check on where those are, because I thought those were run down, but I will, if not, I will.
Yeah, they're gone, yeah.
Did
Okay.
you get that deed written up or whatever for?
What?
Almost, we were waiting to hear back from him, weren't we?
Oh,
He was gonna check with his attorney.
He was gonna check with his attorney.
Just get
I
feedback.
thought we were gonna write it up and then.
Not until.
No, because he didn't know if his attorney would be agreeable to a special use permit, and so I said that there was no point in me drafting one and charging the city for it if his attorney was just gonna say no to it. So I haven't done anything because I thought we were waiting to hear back from his attorney.
That's what I thought too.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was gonna check. Jamie, do you wanna follow up with him on that? Please, and see.
Yes.
Anything else, Lauren?
I don't think so. I had a note to ask about the roadside, but we discussed that already, so. I don't think there. Oh, I guess just as kind of an administrative thing, apparently the district court is moving some scheduling things around, so the date of municipal court for 2027 might change. We've been holding it on the second Thursday. It was the third Thursday, it moved to the second Thursday because district court moved things around, they're gonna be moving things around again. And so we're not entirely sure when it's going to fall, but municipal court will probably get rescheduled for the 2027 year. But we don't know exactly when that will be yet.
Is there a motion to accept and file the attorney report? Moved by Randy, second by David, all in favor. Treasurer report. Clerk report.
We have 3 peddler's licenses that we didn't get on the agenda. I apologize for that, just for your review and approval. They've already been here and then the other things are just some correspondence items for you to review.
All of these related to, Robert, you know, what he talked about last month?
2 of them are, one's not.
Was this one just a day,
Which one?
the cooking mouse?
Yeah, it was
They
a
didn't
day.
fill out the
I know,
box.
I saw that after. They paid for a day and stayed for a day.
That's what I thought, but. Need a motion to approve the license.
So,
Moved by David, second by Larry, all in favor?
The only other things in there are the legislative update from KMU, which is just for information, and an invitation from Grace Team. Yeah, I'm not even sure.
What's it?
Grace Team is the management company for Cheyenne County Village, and they've appointed a new
Yeah,
administrator in training.
there's like a come and go welcome on the 26th. And that's all I have.
Okay, a motion to accept and file the clerk's report.
So,
Moved by Justin, second by Larry, all in favor? Alright, council comments, David.
Yeah, we're wanting to know, there's been a lot of work being done to the high school and the dust, we've had to wash our cars like 2 or 3 times and we didn't, no, I'm just kidding, I'm just gonna see. We have a car wash.
I bet Dan's.
No.
That was good. Where is going? David, are you for real?
No. One of the things I talked to Matt about, once or twice, in all seriousness, we talked about cement work a while ago. We talked about if we can get Brock on the deal, and I love Brock, and I think Brock does a good job. But I think we're all hired and elected to help save our constituents some money. And so there is a company in town who does exceptional cement work. I don't know what else they do, but I know the cement work is exceptional. And so it might behoove us from time to time, if we are in a bind, if we're in a crunch, reach out and see what kind of job they do. It might help us in the future with our 2-week.
It'd come down to getting the bids. It'd come down to getting bids.
well,
Well, we tried,
Yeah.
we did try.
We've tried.
So,
but there's nothing wrong with going. Different people.
right,
Absolutely. Is that it?
yeah, that's it.
You want me to come by tomorrow and wash your car?
Mine too. Blew all the way down to it.
All the way down the street.
Just line them up right up there by your house.
Yours is for the state, you get the state to do.
Oh, I get the state to do mine.
Larry?
We're getting geared up for a concert in the park on September 12th on Saturday. I've talked to Cody and I think we're in pretty good shape on getting things going. If anybody knows of anybody who would be willing to help set up Saturday morning, please let me know. Sure use help.
This Saturday?
The 12th.
September 12th. Is it 2 or 3 weeks? It was 3 weeks from Saturday, this
Yeah,
past
that's what I
Saturday.
said. I'll be.
That's all
Do you have anything?
I don't have anything.
Justin?
5 minutes executive session, non-elected personnel.
I don't have anything, so. You wanna make the motion? Who you want in here?
5 minutes non-elected personnel for executive session.
For subject matter,
Pay,
okay?
yeah.
Okay.
With who in the room? Just council or?
Anyway,
We're good.
I just need to bring something up that was addressed to me.
Okay. Been moved by Justin, second by Randy, to go into executive session, 5 minutes to resume at 9:35 with, Lauren, are you leaving?
Do I need to stay?
Do you need to?
Do you want me to stay?
Do you want me to say? No. You were packing up, I didn't know. So with I guess.
I thought it was.
Everyone but the attorney.
Too late, I shut the door.
She'll stay.
Okay, I'm
She was
staying.
kidding.
Noise
Night
on the
watching.
background.
We're out of executive session, no
We can
decisions were
provide
made.
that.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Nope.
Moved by Justin, second by David, all in favor?
Alright, signatures before you leave, please.
What?